We're just going to the back at the moment where we store a lot of our building materials, and one of the things that we actually moved to the back are the large granite stones that we had from the observatory, and we now just want to double check that we have enough to make some flower beds or create some flower beds for one of the sides of the castle. And I just realized that we forgot our measuring tape.
Okay, so we are outside in the very back area. You can see David driving a tractor in the background. This is where we keep a lot of the materials. It was originally the courtyard.
Stable yard, right?
Yeah, the stable yard. We're obviously gonna make it back to what it originally was because it was very beautiful, but right now we have a lot of materials. Anyway, point being, when we bought Killoskehane back in the, like 1700s, there was a guy who had an observatory he really loved.
I think it was the 18...
Was it? Maybe I'm thinking 18th century. No.
We don't actually know how old it is, but it's on the picture from 1860 whatever. It's on there.
Yeah, so it was, let's say 1800s. I do know roughly around then. I might have said too early. Either way, he built a conservatory because he loved the stars and to stargaze, and he had this big telescope and this glass dome over it. Well, obviously, we didn't have any of that when we bought the castle, but the base of that conservatory was left behind, and the base was granite. And it's amazing pieces of granite.
It's actually Wicklow granite, which is apparently special.
Yeah, it's a very special type of granite. So we've been trying to mull over like so much what we can use this granite for. And you'll see it a little bit in other videos. We kind of made a little archway. We kind of put a base of another wall. But my whole idea the whole time was to measure these pieces and see if we can make it a flower bed. So imagine a bedding at the front of Killoskehane. So if you picture this, you're looking at it straight on. This would be the beveled edge that goes up, and then this would be your main edge for the actual bedding. So the bedding would be in here, and you would have your little grass and stuff here. So that's the idea. And all of these pieces are beveled, but some are in bad shape, some are in worse shape than others. One thing we also need is corner pieces, which is really important to get the symmetry of the castle. And we're trying to decide if we want to do a more rounded bed to kind of soften up this like really intense rigidity of the castle, or if we want to kind of play with that rigidity and keep it going on and be very structured.
And just move it out, right?
Yeah, just move it out. So right now we're going to measure all of these, and then we're going to go into the front and see if we have enough to make a flower bed. So I don't know what to do with my foot. We've measured all the straight pieces. We have 9 straight pieces. That comes out to about 9 meters of length. I think when we measured it the other day, we needed at least like 12 or 13. But we also have some interesting kind of square rounded pieces. So we're gonna go in the front and figure out if we can somehow, the curved pieces, they curve very, very slow angle. So you wouldn't be able to place a lot. In order to make a semicircle, you would have to place quite a few because it's a very, very long curve. So that might not be possible. But we're gonna go in the front and see if we can figure out if we have enough space. So now we're going to the front, technically the front of Killoskehane. And originally, there was, when we first came to look at the place, there actually was a flower bed already out here. So it came out from this wall, probably about a little
It wasn't that
meter.
deep, Colin.
No, it matched with that, the door. So it basically lined up with this door frame here. And it was really beautiful because there was all this like foliage and rose bushes. So we're trying to bring that back. So the granite that we just measured, we have a rough estimate.
Can you give me this? I'm going to measure how much we have to go.
Well, the only other thing is if you, what's this?
That's for the fountain, for the water, Colin.
Jesus, that's a lot.
But there was nothing there anymore.
That's wild.
It's
Is this for the fountain?
154. 154 out. And now we have to go to the corner. Do you want to go there?
Well, we're also, if we're going to stop.
Yeah, but let's first do the...
You just want to do the whole thing?
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
I'm probably a meter away from this. So what is it?
That's 4, wait, you have to come a little bit in. No, come a little bit in for me. Okay, a little bit more, Colin. Thank you. That's 395 here. And
so I would say 495 to the end.
495. Okay.
Check out these horses. We've got the 4 horses of the apocalypse.
I know, we've got a video about it.
Do you?
Yeah.
The water comes out of their mouths. So this one will have to...
Hopefully it's even.
It's even, yeah.
No, it's not.
What?
It's 150.
How is it not even?
It's 152 on this side. Wait until... Wait. For...
You got to hold it kind of taut, Alex.
Yeah, I'm just trying to first get to a point where I can measure it properly. 395, so that's 4 meters here. So,
So right to this...
put your foot down, Colin.
Well, right to this gray pipe.
Yeah, okay. So, and now let me come back and let me go from there. It was 4. And then
So basically right where this gray pipe is.
yeah, you got it? 325, so it's 722.
722?
Yeah.
All right. Now it's time to do some math. Let's figure out if we can do this. So what do you have for the length of the...
So first we also have to see now where you wanted to get the curved ones, right?
Alex's work shirt.
I came straight from Dublin, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So you need 2 curved pieces here, Colin.
Well, let's just real quick. So now that we've got the measurements both sides, let's see if hypothetically, if we made a straight flower bed all the way across, if we would even have enough.
Okay.
And that will help determine if we... So there's 2 options that we want to do. This is a door into the dining room that you can go in and out of. And there's one in the drawing room, right? So the idea at first was that from this, it would come out like a fan, like it has here. And so when you're sitting in there, you kind of have this like fanned out, open, welcome to outside. But I actually think I want to start it here, just where the physical door is. So it'll be more of a narrow wood plank that fans out. And that way, in these windows, you can see flowers and stuff. So when you're in the kitchen, or not in the kitchen, sorry, in the dining room, you can see the foliage. So I think we'll just do one skinny wood plank here that like fans out.
Depending on
Like that,
the straight
depending
pieces.
on what we're gonna, yeah.
Because they are, we need 12 meters
Okay.
of total, and we
We had 21 pieces with an average of about a...
I know, but there are also curved ones, and they have to subtract the curved ones.
Some of those that can be cut though.
But if they're curved like this, then it's very difficult to do something,
Yeah,
right?
I
So
agree.
I'd say it was 8 pieces that were curved there because it's...
Because we would need 2 curved pieces for this.
So,
So
22.
we need 2 for both sides. We're trying to also decide if we're going to square off the edges or if we're going to round out the edges. Like if you see this, it's a little bit softer. And when you look at Killoskehane from the front, it's very structured, it's very square, it's very masculine. So we thought about maybe rounding off the edges just to soften it a little bit and kind of contrast that really intense rigidity.
So we got, if we got everything right, we may have 14 meters, thereabouts.
So we have 2 extra meters.
I wouldn't say extra, let's just assume that we have just about enough, because I don't think all of them are exactly the same. And then you've got 8 more round pieces there, I believe. And so you need 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a round pieces done. And then you need 2 corner pieces on the side to come in, go in, come out again. So that could work.
Are you still going with the fanned out curved pieces or are you still doing the squared pieces at the end? So
Squared pieces at the end.
2 squared pieces and then curved.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I think that would be enough then.
It could.
You could also, because remember I said there was the corner piece that was like a half moon piece?
Yeah.
So that was actually a little bit of a more of a...
Well, this one would neatly
one could-
fit into the straight piece. That's the way they're made. So they're made
Well, I
so
was
that
thinking
you
a
have
square piece would fit in the straight piece, but that one was kind of tipped at the end so it could kind of come out as a rounded edge. Like if you did use it there, you could have it come out as like a rounded half moon edge.
if we have enough. But that's
We
every
have
8
enough,
of
yeah.
them, right? So